I have to make a comment about a comment. Just glanced at the comments on the most recent video that I posted, which was Talat's killing was a moral act. Hello everyone, welcome to Sovereign Artsakh. I'm Michael and I'm Armenian. I'm going to make this a quick video. I'm about to go into my night shift. If you want to support what I'm doing here, click like, share these videos, and subscribe. Pass the word along. Somebody commented that because Soghomon Tehlirian testified in court. Right. Background for anybody who has no idea what we're talking about. Soghomon Tehlirian is an Armenian who assassinated the former Grand Vizier of the Ottoman Empire, a Turk who is considered responsible for the Armenian genocide, the massacre of upwards of 1.5 million Armenians, a total of 2 million Christians of all ethnicities during World War I in the periods between 1915 and 1916. Quick background, and that's what I am exposing here, revealing here. Pass the word along. Soghomon testified in court that his mother told him to kill Talat. And in my research, that's the one thing that he testified to that I hoped he wasn't lying about, because there were lies, right? There was false testimony on his part, technically, in the trial. And that's certain things were omitted and certain things were overtly false. But cinematically, as I'm a Hollywood guy, I know how to make it work. Not to justify lying, but to demonstrate why he felt justified in saying what he said. That's all beside the point. But one of the comments was, and I was in that previous video, I said, well, Soghomon was taking orders. I was mentioning why it was a moral act for him to do what he did, because he was taking orders. And I in passing mentioned that his mother told him to do it, the ghost of his mother. He was taking orders from his mother. But then I wanted to say he was actually taking orders from the operation, the government-sanctioned operation, like Operation Nemesis. The plot to assassinate the architects of the genocide is equivalent to SEAL Team 6, taking out Osama bin Laden. That was the point of that video. But in passing, I mentioned, well, he took orders from his mother. And on a personal note, yes, he was so traumatized, and he had multiple visions of his mother. In my research and in his memoir, he did not lie about that. This was, you could call it post-traumatic stress disorder. But the problem with just calling it, I mean, yes, I would say he had post-traumatic stress, but coming from a Christian background, his mother was very Christian. She taught him to memorize the Lord's Prayer, and she was a godly woman, and she was the daughter of a preacher. And that's how I come to this story as a Christian. This incredibly awful thing happened to my Christian brethren that Christians don't seem to know about. The problem with that commenter was saying, so anybody who has a nightmare about their loved ones is justified in going out and killing. That's quite an extrapolation from what I said. Well, actually, I didn't go into it, but absolutely not. But this was, again, a unique circumstance. He was taking orders from a magistrate, but he was led to his connection with that magistrate by the drive from his nightmares with his mother. I would also say that this event, his mother communicating with him beyond the grave. Of course, anybody's going to want vengeance and justice when their family, the women and children in your family are brutally butchered, right? That just goes without saying. But his mother was communicating something to him, I am convinced, from the other side. I mean, he has vivid descriptions, things that are uncanny, things that he recounts in his memoir. It's like, how could he have known that? It was revealed to him in this dream, or this nightmare, or this vision, and he finds out later certain things that actually happened that he couldn't have known otherwise. And in particular, his mother says, and this is how he phrases it, you can't be with me in heaven until you do this. And so in one sense, he's driven to do it. But in another sense, it's a prophecy of the future, because he didn't die. In other words, he can't be with her in heaven until he does it. So in his mind, it was marching orders, but from a God's eye view, it was just a prophecy of what was going to come. It was his mother saying, son, I'm here to let you know you're going to do this thing, and then you get to see me in heaven.